not covered by this, so.
Article 16, authorize the Board of Selectmen to amend the agricultural preservation restriction on Boston Road to allow the construction of a restaurant. Is there anybody here who plans on speaking in favor of this?
Not in favor, just what the petition is.
Okay. Since there will be no discussion, therefore, should I just describe what this is?
Sure.
I will do my best. I was at that meeting, too.
You left early. You were not there until midnight.
I don't see you there.
Whoa, couple of us.
I love you, Bob.
I'm going to have to correct my timesheet. As I understand it, what Ebby is looking to do is to have town meeting authorize the selectmen to negotiate with him with the view of building a restaurant at the Old Drew's Farm, opposite the fire station. Now, obviously, there's a lot of discussion, pro on his part, con on, I recognize a lot of these faces, on your part, and also discussion between the lawyers involved. Everybody seems to have a different perspective on whether this can be done legally or can't be. I think it was Mark who suggested that no matter what happens on this, we're going to wind up in court one way or another, trying to litigate the solution here. Am I quoting you correctly?
No. but
No. Oh, sorry.
Somebody said it.
Somebody said it.
that. That was not, yeah.
The attorney
The
said it.
attorney said it, right.
So what it's asking you to do, or what the motion is asking you to do, is to support the negotiations with the selectmen with a view to building the restaurant. I don't want to say any more.
You left off one important thing, and that's that it's permanently giving away the townspeople right to vote on this land forever. And that's the most important aspect.
That depends how the vote goes.
No, that's true if it passes, but that's the most important aspect of that we give up our right to vote on this land. And the other thing too is that if this is not released according to law, the APR program, the state, they will withhold grant money and funds. That's part of their punitive, program that they have if you don't follow the rules.
Thank you. You speaking about to this one or the next one?
This is a quick one. I think the actual article does not authorize the selectmen to negotiate. It authorizes the selectmen to amend the agricultural preservation restriction.
Yep.
So the negotiation is one thing, but this actually says, okay, you can change that, and it's okay with us. And you can change it so it allows a restaurant.
You're correct. Diane?
I thought the presentation Tuesday night was really helpful. I've been trying to keep up with everything. Is that depth going to go on at town meeting?
You mean the conversation we had for 2 hours?
Well, no.
Or
That's
the-
great. With the attorney, what's our attorney's name?
Corbo.
A lot of his explanation I thought was helpful. I
So-
don't know to what degree.
The proponents were invited, they were not available, they're in Florida, so that's why there's no one here, I guess, for that, and Ebby was busy, but we will have Greg Corbo at the meeting. All this information is online on the Drew Gardens webpage, and there's lots of information there. As you know, this will be the third time that Ebby has brought a request to amend this APR to the town meeting, so most of us have heard something about this before, but they will be making a presentation at town meeting, and then we will have, I'm sure, a spirited debate.
I should point out that the singular difference between a selectmen's meeting that goes on until midnight and what happens at town meeting is that voters have the right to call the question, to move the previous question.
We should implement that for Board of
I
Selectmen.
think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do that right when I announce each agenda item. I'm going to move every one of them. No.
Emily?
Will there be a specific presentation about the plans for the restaurant, do you think? Okay, so that'll be there, because I came in late for that. Okay. And I'm a little concerned personally, because I was on the negotiating committee in the 90s to get the development rights, the APR, and the right of first refusal. And I was a little concerned about our attorney town council saying that we don't own the development rights. And I guess I feel like if he says that, or he can't confirm that in some way, that might jeopardize his credibility with people who have been here since the 90s and voted to get the development rights.
So I would suggest that you ask those questions on the 23rd, because he'll be there.
Okay, because it came up.
Yeah,
And
and
he
he answered it.
specifically said, you don't own the development
Right.
rights.
So I think you should ask that again, and if
Okay,
you don't agree with what he says, then
speak to that, which I will. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't think to invite him here tonight. I'm sure he would have been happy to come again. But I will have two attorneys at town meeting, because it has been helpful, and, we have a lot of interesting topics, so.
From the same firm.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
John Giorgio and Attorney Corbo has been working on this issue since it began here in the 14 with the town.
Lynn?
I just have a question. The article specifically says that it's to build a farm-to-table restaurant. Does anyone know what happens if we approve this and the developer gets to build the restaurant and then he decides to sell it? Can it only ever in perpetuity be a farm-to-table restaurant? Does town meeting have any control over that in the future?
I think that's a good question for a town meeting.
Yeah,
we had
I
a
can't
good long
answer
discussion
that.
about that
Okay.
Tuesday night, but,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, Article 16,
17.
all right. 17.
Let's do it again.
Require the town to publicly bid the development rights on Boston Road in accordance with so on. Bill, you want to,
I do. I'm going to turn this way because the audience is over here.
Well, what about that audience?
This audience has heard it. You guys have heard it, so I'm going to talk to these people. And
All heard it?
you've all heard it. I think you've all heard it.
No,
Well, you
that,
have-
Wait, don't go. Just one quick question. The two-thirds vote, how did that go through? Is it two-thirds or majority?
it's
On
believed to be,
Article
on
16,
16,
sorry.
majority is what the attorneys believe.
Even though in Corbo's letter, he stated that a two-thirds vote was the better way to go?
They believe it's majority, and so you can raise that question on the 23rd.
Okay, no, but he wrote it in his letter.
Let me just say this, I think what they advised yesterday in our motions meeting is that Susan count, not personally, but that she count whatever the vote is. That way, if it's challenged in court and it is just a majority and it was supposed to be a two-thirds, we have that vote. So
Okay.
it will be counted, but in his opinion, it is a majority vote.
Okay, so he changed his mind from the February 12th
No,
letter.
he was giving another way to go about the process through Article 97, and that would be a two-thirds vote.
Okay.
But if whatever town meeting decides to do, we're gonna count the vote, and then we'll
It's-
move
I know,
forward from
it'll be-
there, yeah.